There is no such thing as trying and failing. If you're not rich, it's because you never truly tried. Not once. You lied to yourself, took the easy route, and called it effort. Watch this and do what I say. If you don't become successful, you were never serious in the first place. Period. You're poor because you chose to be. You might deny it, you might throw up excuses, but the harsh reality is this. Your life is the sum total of every decision you've made up to this point. Every wasted day, every lazy excuse, every moment you chose comfort over progress has led you exactly where you are. You want to tell me you've tried everything, that you've put in the work but haven't seen results? That's the biggest lie you've ever told yourself. Because if you had truly tried, if you had woken up every day obsessed with winning, if you had sacrificed everything for success, there is no universe in which you wouldn't have made it by now. Success is a direct equation. You give everything to it and it gives everything back. The problem is most of you don't give everything. You give a little, you dip your toes in, you half-ass the process, and then you cry when you don't see results. But the truth is, the world does not reward half measures. It punishes weakness. It crushes indecisiveness. It destroys the people who hesitate and hands everything to the men who attack life with a level of intensity that terrifies ordinary people. If you're still broke, it's because you haven't suffered enough. That's the reality. The pain of being average hasn't become unbearable for you yet. You still find ways to cope with mediocrity. You distract yourself with nonsense. You numb yourself with entertainment. You find ways to convince yourself that maybe, just maybe, you'll figure it out later. But later never comes. Every single day that you choose comfort over progress, you cement your place in the category of men who will never make it. And the world is full of them. Millions upon millions of people who wake up every day, complain about their circumstances, but do absolutely nothing to change them. You think the ultra wealthy sit around whining about life? You think the men who control this world, who live in absolute freedom, who have everything at their fingertips, spent their time watching TV, scrolling social media, waiting for some magical sign to take action? No. They got up every single day and they did the work. They executed with precision. They refuse to lose. And now while you're sitting there watching others live the life you wish you had, they're flying private jets, driving supercars, sitting in penthouses, and making decisions that affect the world itself. The truth is, money is not difficult to acquire. It has never been difficult. Money flows to those who demand it. It is programmed into the system. The top 1% are not lucky. They are not special. They do not possess some secret formula that you don't have access to. The difference between you and them is that they were willing to go to war every single day for their future. They were willing to go through hell, to wake up early, to work late, to face rejection, to push through failures, to outwork and outthink everyone else, while you were sitting around waiting for the perfect time to start. There is no perfect time. There is no moment where everything suddenly aligns for you. There is only the present right now, this exact second. And every moment you waste waiting for motivation, waiting for some external force to push you, is another moment where someone else is getting richer while you stay exactly where you are. You've been lied to your whole life. Society has convinced you that getting rich is complicated, that it requires luck, connections, or some level of genius. None of that is true. The only thing you need is the ability to execute without hesitation. That's it. The people at the top, the people making millions, they are not better than you. They are just faster, more aggressive, more ruthless with their time. They don't sit around debating whether they should take action. They just do it. They don't waste hours consuming mindless content. They create value and extract money from the system with relentless precision. And you could do the same, but you don't. Because deep down, you're still clinging to weakness. You still think you have time. You still believe that success is something you can casually work towards whenever it's convenient for you. But success does not wait for you. It does not care about your feelings. It does not reward hesitation. The reality is you are either getting rich or you are getting left behind. That's the game, and the world does not care which one you choose. If you want to stay broke, keep doing what you're doing. Keep scrolling, keep watching, keep pretending that one day you'll take life seriously. But understand this, every single second you waste, someone else is building an empire. Someone else is taking your future. Someone else is making the money that should have been yours, and once they have it, you will never get it back. Money moves fast. It never stays still. It either flows to you or it flows to someone else. And right now you are not even in the game. You are sitting on the sidelines, watching, complaining, waiting for some magical breakthrough that will never come. But here's the good news. At any moment, you can flip the switch. You can decide right now that you will no longer accept being average. You can throw away every excuse, every hesitation, every weak mindset that has held you back. You can make the decision to execute like a machine, to work with a kind of focus that makes ordinary people uncomfortable, to put yourself in a position where success is no longer a possibility but an inevitability. And once you make that decision, you will never lose again, because the man who refuses to quit cannot be stopped. The man who moves with absolute certainty, who refuses to accept anything less than greatness, who treats every day as a battlefield, that man is uneternal. And that man could be you. But only if you decide right now that you are done living like a loser, that you are done making excuses, that you are done being poor. So what's it going to be? Another day wasted? Another excuse? Another year of nothing? Or are you finally going to wake up and claim what's yours? Because no one is coming to save you. No one is going to do it for you. You either take control or you stay exactly where you are. And if that doesn't terrify you, then you were never meant to win in the first place. I remember the exact moment I decided I would never be broke again. It wasn't some gradual realization, some slow building plan where I weighed my options and thought about what I wanted from life. It was instant, a single sharp moment of absolute clarity. I was sitting in my tiny apartment staring at a stack of unpaid bills, my bank account on the verge of collapse, and I felt something deep in my soul, pure, unfiltered rage. Not sadness, not self-pity, rage. The kind of rage that burns everything weak inside of you to the ground. The kind of rage that makes you look in the mirror and say, I am done. I knew in that moment that I would never allow myself to feel this helpless again. I would never sit in that position wondering how I was going to make it to the next month. I had no choice. It was either get rich or suffer forever, and I had no interest in suffering. People think success is complicated. They think there's some big secret, some hidden formula that only a few people are lucky enough to discover. That's nonsense. The truth is, I made my first real money, not because I was the smartest, not because I had connections, not because I got lucky. I made money because I was willing to do what 99% of men will never do. I went all in. No hesitation, no distractions, no backup plan. Every waking second of my life was about one thing, making sure I never felt powerless again. I didn't care about sleep. I didn't care about entertainment. I didn't care about what anyone thought. While everyone else was making excuses, I was making moves. While they were sleeping, I was working. While they were complaining, I was executing. I remember sitting at my old broken laptop, searching for every possible way to make money. And I mean every possible way. I wasn't sitting there debating what was fun or what aligned with my passions. I was hunting. I was willing to do whatever it took. I tried trading. I tried online businesses. I learned sales. I studied human psychology like my life depended on it. Because guess what? It did. And every single time I failed, I didn't sit around crying about it. I adapted. I recalculated. I took what I learned and applied it instantly. And eventually, I started winning. Because when you apply yourself at an intensity that most men can't even comprehend, success isn't a question of if, it's only a matter of when. I remember the first time I made serious money. I checked my account, and for the first time in my life, there were multiple zeros. Not just hundreds, not just thousands, tens of thousands. And in that moment, I realized something that changed my entire perspective on wealth. Money is not real. It's not some magical force that only certain people can attract. It's a game. A game where the rules are simple. Solve problems, provide value, move fast, and execute without hesitation. And the moment you start playing the game like a winner, the moment you stop acting like a spectator and actually step into the field, money starts flowing to you like a magnet. Most people will never understand this. They will spend their entire lives trapped in the same cycle. Wake up, work a job they hate, get paid just enough to survive, spend their free time numbing themselves with entertainment, and then repeat. They never stop to ask why. They never stop to challenge the system. They just accept it. They believe money is something you earn by trading your time rather than something you create by outthinking and outworking everyone else. They don't understand that the world is built on control. The system is designed to keep you broke, to keep you dependent, to keep you thinking small. And as long as you accept it, as long as you stay inside their little cage, you will never be free. But I made a decision. I refused to be controlled. I refused to let anyone tell me how much my time was worth. I refused to be a pawn in someone else's game. So I did what most men are too scared to do. I took complete ownership of my life. I stopped blaming external factors. I stopped looking for shortcuts. I accepted fully and completely that everything in my life was my responsibility. And when you do that, when you accept that every dollar you don't have is because of decisions you made, something shifts inside of you. You stop making excuses. You stop hesitating. You start moving with absolute certainty because you realize that winning is a choice. And that's what separates the rich from the poor. It's not talent, it's not intelligence, it's the ability to decide fully, completely, with zero hesitation, that you will win no matter what. That you will do whatever it takes, that you will outwork, outlearn, and outthink every single person standing in your way. Because once you make that decision, once you flip that switch in your mind, there is no going back. You stop being a participant in life and you become a force of nature. And that's exactly what I did. I made the decision to win and I never looked back. Now I sit in $1 million penthouses, drive the fastest cars, fly private jets, and live life on my own terms, not because I was lucky, not because I was special, but because I refused to accept anything less than total success. And the crazy part, any man could do the same. But most won't. Most will stay exactly where they are. Most will hear this message, feel inspired for a few minutes because they don't actually want it. They don't have that fire. But you have a choice right now. You can either keep living the same life, following the same script, hoping that one day something will magically change, or you can make the decision, the same decision I made, to go all in, to do whatever it takes, to never settle for anything less than greatness. Because the truth is, the only thing standing between you and unlimited wealth is your own hesitation. So what's it gonna be? Another excuse, another wasted day? Or are you finally going to wake up and take what's yours? Let me tell you the harsh truth most people refuse to accept. Don't tell yourself some comforting lie about how the world is unfair, how you were dealt a bad hand, how circumstances are against you, because none of that matters, none of it. The only thing that matters is this: are you willing to suffer for success? Because if you're not, then get comfortable where you are. Accept mediocrity, settle for average, stay trapped in a life where you answer to people you despise, living paycheck to paycheck, watching other men live the life you wish you had, because that's the cost of weakness. That's the price you pay for not being relentless. You think the universe is gonna hand you wealth? You think money will magically appear in your account because you work hard? Wake up. The world doesn't reward effort, it rewards results. You can spend years grinding at some dead-end job, giving everything you've got and still be broke, because effort without intelligence is meaningless. You have to move correctly. You have to be ruthless in your execution. You have to attack life like a man who refuses to lose. If you're not obsessed with winning, you'll never get there. And that's the difference between the rich and the poor. The rich don't waste time. They don't hesitate. They don't sit around feeling sorry for themselves. They see an opportunity and they take it. Most of you don't even realize how much time you're wasting. You wake up, scroll through your phone, get distracted by nonsense, complain about things that don't matter, and by the time the day is over, you've done nothing to change your life. And then you wonder why you're broke. You wonder why you feel empty. You wonder why nothing ever improves. It's because you're living like a coward. You don't move with urgency. You don't act like your life is on the line. But let me tell you something. Your time is running out. Every single second you waste is a second you'll never get back. And if that doesn't terrify you, then you've already lost. Do you know what real fear is? It's not being broke today. It's waking up 10 years from now and realizing you're in the exact same place, while the men who took action are living the life you always wanted. It's seeing someone younger, someone hungrier, surpass you in every way because you were too slow, too lazy, too weak to do what needed to be done. That should scare you more than anything. Because once time is gone, it's gone. You don't get a second chance. And if you're not fighting every single day to escape mediocrity, you are guaranteeing your own failure. The system is designed to keep you weak. It wants you distracted. It wants you spending hours on useless entertainment, addicted to dopamine, feeding into nonsense that does nothing for your future, and you fall for it. You let them control you. You let them dictate how you think, how you act, how you live. You are a slave and you don't even realize it. But the rich, the powerful, the men who win at life, they broke free because they saw the truth. They realized that the only way to win is to reject weakness entirely, to become dangerous, to stop caring about what other people think and start focusing on one thing: power. Because when you have power, when you have money, when you have control over your own life, nobody can tell you what to do. Most of you are living like you've got all the time in the world, like success is something you can think about later. You don't have later, you have right now. And if you don't start moving like your future depends on it, you will wake up one day with nothing but regrets. You will be stuck in the same place, wondering why your life never changed while the men who took action are flying in private jets, driving supercars, living life on their own terms. And you'll be another nameless nobody, forgotten by the world, left behind because you were too afraid to step up. If you think success is optional, you've already lost. If you're not treating your life like a war, like every single day is a battle to be won, you will lose to the man who is. That's reality. That's the game. And the only way to win is to decide right now that you will never settle, that you will do whatever it takes, that you will wake up every single day with the mindset of a champion and refuse to let anything slow you down. Because the truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to give you a golden ticket. The only way out is through you. So ask yourself, are you willing to suffer for success? Are you willing to sacrifice your comfort, your distractions, your pathetic excuses, and go all in? Because if you're not, if you hesitate for even a second, someone else will take what should have been yours. And when you realize that, when you see another man living the life you wanted, you will hate yourself for not acting sooner. You have two choices. Stay where you are, comfortable in your failure, or step up and take what's yours, because the clock is ticking. And once you run out of time, there's no going back. You know what the biggest scam in the world is? The idea that success is hard. It's not hard. What's hard is staying broke. What's hard is waking up every morning knowing you have no control, no power, no options. What's hard is watching other men live the life you should have had while you sit there making excuses. That's what's truly painful. The grind, the work, the suffering, that's the easy part. Because once you embrace it, once you realize that pain is the price of freedom, you stop fearing it. You stop resisting it. You run toward it because you know that every ounce of effort, every drop of sweat, every sacrifice you make is another step toward total domination. You ever wonder why some men succeed while others fail? It's not luck. It's not intelligence. It's not even about where you start. It's about one thing: obsession. The winners in this world, the real kings, they wake up every single day with one thought: how do I get richer? How do I get stronger? How do I become more powerful? And then they execute. They don't hesitate. They don't waste time. They don't scroll through their phones looking for distractions. They attack the day with ruthless efficiency. And by the time the average man has even started his morning routine, they've already conquered half the battlefield. That's the difference. That's why they win and you don't. Most of you are trapped in a cycle of failure, and the worst part is you don't even realize it. You wake up, you do the same things, you make the same mistakes, and then you wonder why your life isn't changing. You want success, but you don't move like someone who wants success. You don't act like your life is on the line. You talk about working hard, but you don't push yourself to your limits. You talk about making money, but you waste hours every day on nonsense. And then when things don't go your way, you blame the system, you blame your circumstances, you blame everything except the one thing that actually needs to change: you. You see a man driving a Lambo, living in a mansion, flying in private jets, and you tell yourself, oh, he must have gotten lucky. He must have had connections. He must have cheated the system. No, he played the game better than you. He took risks. He made sacrifices. He put in the work while you were watching TV, while you were out partying, while you were wasting time on things that don't make you richer, stronger, or more powerful. And now, instead of learning from him, instead of using his success as proof that it's possible, you make excuses. You tell yourself comforting lies to justify your own failure. And that's why you stay losing. Every single second you waste is a second another man is using to get ahead of you. While you sleep in, he's working. While you hesitate, he's executing. While you're making excuses, he's making moves. And one day when he's standing at the top, looking down at the world he conquered, you'll be sitting there with nothing, wondering why your life never changed. That's the brutal truth. That's the reality you refuse to accept. Success isn't about talent. It's not about education. It's about urgency. It's about moving with purpose, with aggression, with absolute certainty that you will win. Because when you truly believe that failure isn't an option, when you refuse to accept anything less than greatness, you become unstoppable. You think you have time? You don't. Every day that passes is a day you'll never get back. And the older you get, the harder it becomes. The opportunities shrink, the doors close, the competition gets stronger. And if you're not already ahead, you're getting left behind. That's why the time to act isn't tomorrow. It's right now, this very second. If you're not moving towards success, you're moving toward failure. There is no middle ground. There is no later. Later is a lie. Later is an illusion that keeps weak men stuck in mediocrity. You have one life, one shot. And if you waste it, you don't get a second chance. If you spend your years making excuses, living in fear, settling for less than you deserve, you will wake up one day filled with nothing but regret. And there is no worse feeling than knowing you could have been great, but you were too weak, too lazy, too afraid to do what needed to be done. That's the nightmare. That's the horror story most men live. And if you don't change, if you don't take control right now, that will be you. So ask yourself, are you ready to suffer for success? Are you ready to sacrifice everything that's holding you back? Because if you're not, you'll stay where you are. You'll watch as other men pass you by as they take everything you ever wanted. And when that day comes, you'll realize that the only person to blame was you. Make the choice. Dominate or be dominated.